Good hello friends, my name is Melanie and welcome back to my channel. So this video is long overdue, quite frankly 6 months overdue, and that is my review slash experience of the first book that I read this year, Normal People by Sally Rooney. When I first started filming this video, I was mimicking my experience of reading House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. As you guys know, Sarah J. Maas is one of the reasons that I started reading again. I know she has her issues, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about the fact that Normal People was one of literally everyone's favorite book from whenever it came out. I literally don't even know. The hype was extremely real. The TV show came out and everybody picked it back up and started talking about it again. So here I am. I'm late to the party. What's new? But I actually ended up reading Normal People and watching the show for this video, and I had a pretty good time. I gave Normal People, the book, a 4-star rating. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I think it kind of grew on me as time went on. Immediately from both the TV show and the book, I got major sex education vibes, but with them having the same accents and the same vibe, they all have that very posh feeling, something as an American I don't experience. I did find the beginning to be a bit lackluster. It was very playbook, but I mention it later on in the vlog portion of this video, where you can see, like, I know when this book came out. I know the vibe of this book. I get it, but I was just like over it. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, this is the book that everybody's hyping up, like I don't get it. But as I kept reading, it made a lot more sense. I really enjoyed the time jumps and how they were done. I think it made a little bit more sense in the show, and seeing it visually enhanced my experience, but I was able to still really connect with these characters in a way that I wasn't expecting. Considering the fact that it's very choppy in terms of we see glimpses of their lives and we see the story come together, but other than that, like, you are really basing your understanding of this book on the characters. It's a character-driven novel. It totally makes sense as to why it is a character-driven novel. And they are, as the book's title suggests, normal people. These are normal people our age, and I say our age as in somebody who is in her 20s, graduated college, is in her master's degree. Like, it all makes sense to me, and I really liked seeing how they were relatable in a sense that, like, this is everything somebody goes through when you're falling in love, when you're trying to discover yourself, when you're trying to, like, be this normal person living a normal life and still experiencing everything that everybody else is. I really enjoyed how their relationship developed in terms of how they both came to levels of acceptance, how they both came to their own boundaries, how they all just kind of changed. Marianne and Connell have a very interesting dynamic. I don't even know if you want to call it a dynamic in terms of, like, they didn't make sense, but at the end of the day, they made sense. You know, it's one of those things where you just can't explain it. You have to read it and you have to see it. And I feel like they have a relationship very similar to how a lot of relationships nowadays can happen, where it's like, to the outside person, it won't make sense, but to the both of you, everything that you have gone through this point in your life has brought you to where you are now. And that is very much so their story, and I think Sally Rooney does a fantastic job of really narrowing that down and showing you who these characters are, showing you their pain, showing you everything that's going on while still not being in their heads. And I think that was really clever. Like, if I'm going to give any kudos, it is to that fact where, like, you don't really get to see how they're thinking fully, as in it's not like a first-person narrative the entire time. So being able to really understand who these characters were from the outside perspective, I think was really well done. And of course, I got extremely emotional with Marianne's trauma and her acceptance of it. It was almost like a learned helplessness at this point. And at one point she says, "Is the world such an evil place that love should be indistinguishable from the basest and most abusive forms of violence?" A line like that is only told from someone who is so hurt and so fucked by life that you really just can't help it, I feel like, at that point. And like I said, Sally Rooney does a great job of showing that, and it hurt me so bad to see this because I wanted to just, like, hug her. I wanted to be able to be there for her. And she's a fictional character. So putting her on the screen after the fact, like, that completely made my heart like explode. And I think the actors that they picked for the show were spot on. Like, they were perfect in my eyes, and I think their dynamic on screen was perfect as well. One of the closing lines that I put in my journal here is, "These beautiful broken people keep finding solace in conflict with each other. Whether it's abuse, rape, negative self-talk, mental health, etc. They're all so fucked, but they all care for each other so much." So I think if that isn't a perfect amalgamation of what this book is about, I don't know what is. I really think that the hype on BookTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever, definitely built this book up for more than what I thought it was gonna be. And while I did enjoy it quite a bit, I don't think the hype should have been like that intense, that crazy. Like, it's just a normal book about normal people, but you're able to connect with it on a much more deeper and emotional level. I enjoyed the book quite a bit. I wouldn't have like lost my mind if I didn't read it, but I did enjoy it. And I actually want to take you through a few clips and a few moments of when I did read this book for, I feel like it was forever. I think I read it over the course of like 2 months and then actually watched the show really quickly. Enjoy those clips now.
Hi friends, so I've officially started Normal People by Sally Rooney. My camera is somewhere in my room, but I just don't feel like getting out of bed and checking for it because I got both the COVID vaccine and the flu vaccine yesterday, and it's kind of knocked me out. I don't feel well. I have a raging headache, and I'm just trying to kind of get some reading in so I can get my eyes a little bit tired and then take a nap. I'm planning on reading Normal People and watching the show on Hulu. On Hulu? I think it's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. And I'm super excited because I've been meaning to read this book for a very long time. I'm excited to consume it in both formats. Today's January 3rd. I am very excited, but I know I was warned that there's like no dialogue, like no quotations in it, and I'm worried that I'm not gonna like that format, but so far so good. Keep you guys updated as we go.
Hi friends, so I just had dinner and it was like this crazy mix of basically all the leftovers I had. It was like an amalgamation of food and it was delicious. So now I am winding down, having myself a cup of chocolate milk to get the rest of my protein in for the night, and I'm gonna be reading the rest, well not the rest, another chunk of Normal People. I'm really enjoying this right now. So some thoughts so far. I'm about 112 pages in. It's giving me like sex ed vibes in terms of the interaction between our characters, Connell and Marianne. I will say, like, some of the plot points are a little bit like overplayed, like, oh, you know, popular guy doesn't want the girl in public, wants her in private, she's quiet, she's whatever. Like, it's a very done plot. Like, okay, like this book came out in 2017, so you would think that there was a slightly fresher plot point. However, again, Normal People, like, it makes sense. I am getting to a point though where I know, at like page 45, I know actually, that my heart was going to be broken at some point or another. I'm feeling extremely empathetic for the characters, which is something that, like, with how quickly the pacing of the story is going, it'll be like November 2011 and then 3 months later and it'll bring us to March of 2012. And, you know, like, it's a very quick paced book in terms of that. I'm enjoying it. I'm really surprised that I'm as committed to these characters as I am right now with how little I've gotten to know them. Granted, like 100 pages is quite a bit of time to get to know a character and a set of characters, but like you have to read it to kind of understand the pacing of it because it's really well done and it's keeping me engaged. I was at work and I was on my 30-minute break and I literally had to set an alarm because I knew I was gonna keep reading through my break, or, you know, actually properly go back to work. Quite frankly, I didn't want to, but you know, it's fine. So I was sucked in and I wasn't expecting it. So far a very positive experience. I want to read about another 50 pages. It's like 8:15 right now, so I don't have to go to bed for like another 2 hours. So I'm gonna stay up and read. Happy Saturday. So it's been a minute since I filmed an update. I was doing homework and catching up on YouTube videos. That's actually Samantha's video in the background. And I realized that I had started watching Normal People and I hadn't said a single word about it. I'm, I think, like 4 episodes in, and so far I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it either. It's kind of the same feeling that I was having when I was reading the book, in terms of like, I don't understand why I'm supposed to be caring about these people's lives. And all of them are just so like all of their personalities are so weird, yet they're still discovering themselves. So obviously it's meant to be weird. But long story short, I'm enjoying the way the show is doing the time jumps, because I feel like the time jumps in the book felt a little bit sporadic, but I liked that in the book there were actual datelines. In the show, obviously there aren't. It feels like there has been a good passing of time. So I've been enjoying it quite a bit, but it's kind of like my, oh, I'm gonna watch an episode before bed kind of show. It's not something that I like am sitting down and actively like, oh, I need to watch Normal People tonight. So it's good, but again, nothing like super mind-blowing, which is why it's been taking me so long to film this video and to watch the episodes, because like I'm not dying to get to it. I think the show's doing a really good job, because I kind of, as I'm watching the show, I feel like my rating of the book is kind of changing. So that's interesting to see like how it's affecting, but I don't know. I don't have full thoughts yet, but I'll keep you updated. Hello friends. So I just finished up to like episode 8, I think it was. I'm realizing just how much I enjoy the later part of Connell and Marianne's story so much more than the beginning. But obviously like the beginning was needed for context, but in terms of their like need to kind of figure stuff out for themselves, but also feel this intense connection to each other where like everybody else is inadequate to their standards, if you will, or like their level of connection, is so good. I think the TV show is doing a fantastic job of representing their relationship, and I really like the on-screen chemistry between the actors. Still, the story itself is very difficult to consume, and there are moments where like I found myself just like constantly, like this was the look on my face, and my roommate walked in and was like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know. I'm enjoying it a lot more now than I was earlier, but I think it was the same way when I was reading the book, and I was very invested in their story. So while I don't love the story overall, I think it's executed very well.
Hello friends. So I actually I finished watching Normal People a couple of hours ago, and it was actually really good. But I do think that like probably like episodes 6 through 9 were some of my favorites, and then 9 through 12 I still wasn't like a big fan of. But the raw emotion, the characters, everything was just so well done. I think the show did a fantastic job, and I am overall so freaking happy. But I don't know if you can tell, it's Sunday, which means it's Euphoria Sunday, which means it's the last Sunday that we're ever gonna get a Euphoria episode for at least, I think they said 3 years or something like that, something weird. But I'm so excited to watch the finale, and I know this isn't related to that at all, but I just wanted to wrap up like the vlog portion of this. So I'm gonna go watch Euphoria now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Wrap up to come in the next clip.
So that is it for the first book that I read in 2022. I'm posting this video in June. I've read a couple books since then, but yeah, first book, and I'm just talking about it now. Which is exactly why you guys saw a day in my life prior to this video going live, because I needed you guys to see what my life looked like right now and why I can barely get a book in. But I am reading, I am enjoying a lot of stuff, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and until then, I'll catch you soon.